You're not going to really let him put up this Rajput palace, are you?
A lot of good judges consider the architecture of the Mughal Empire at least the equal of Renaissance Europe.
Well, he certainly looks like a Mughal.
Style's quite appropriate, actually. Andrew Baden made his fortune selling educational hardware to Asia. The main aim of the college is to bridge the academic divide between East and West.
Well, maybe this'll do for the eastern end, but for Oxford?
Chinese pagodas in the parks next.
Lyman. Right this moment, Oxford has 16 frozen professorships. 16 of the major academic chairs in the country unoccupied. Baden's gift means that we can unfreeze 10 of them. What do you want us to do? Throw the money in his face?
Who's peddling this trash? There's not a word of truth in it, not one single word.
It's malicious. I'm sorry, sir. I don't know where Mr. Baden is. I don't have his agenda.
Your scabby, filthy, fascist will never appear again. And
Certainly.
Don't think you can hide behind
Goodbye.
your insurers. I'll sue you separately for personal damages. You will sue you for your stinking slanderous foot. You limp in the gutter for the rest of your libelous life. Yes?
Mr. Baden, sir, the Secretary of State wonders if you can spare a word.
Knobhead! That's the word I can spare. Knobhead.
Brunhilde's had a terrible lot to put up with. Siegfried's betrayed her, lied to her, gone off with another girl. Of course, she knows he was drugged, really, but now it's too late. He's dead. Just like a man. Still, she's ready to die for him. Throw herself on his funeral pyre. It's a grand passion, see? That's what you got to go for. The grand passion. Go on. I'm sorry, lovey, but you sound like you're giving the weather forecast. Listen.
Suppose she...
She won't. Just do what I say, when I say it, and everything will be okay.
there are other Oxfords, at least 5 in Canada alone. There's one in New Zealand, one in Jamaica. As for America, there's hardly a state without one. Oxford, Alabama, Oxford, Idaho, Mississippi, Maryland, New York. What splendid though these places may be, indeed in their own way, undoubtedly are, places of beauty, perhaps, who knows, places of learning even.
You can't say even. It's too rude. Nor who knows?
Well, nobody does know. Nobody's the least idea what these places are like.
The people who live in them know. And this one needs their dollars.
Oh, Lord. Very well, then. Places of beauty, perhaps. Perhaps places of learning.
There's no perhaps about it.
It spoils the rhythm not to say perhaps.
It's too Oxford, Harold. Oxford, England.
But I am Oxford. The Chancellor of the University is the University. Places of much beauty, I'm sure. Places of equal learning.
Much better.
And you didn't see anyone else?
Oh, there's usually a man with a horrible bull terrier called Snap. But they weren't here this morning. But I was earlier than usual. We're off to Greece this afternoon. Excavation season.
You don't happen to know the name of Snap's owner, do you, just in case?
We only say good morning. Or barely that. Bull terriers. Oh, he lives over there somewhere. But I didn't mean... I hope you don't think that I would...
Oh, I never think, madam. Sergeants aren't allowed to, not in the Thames Valley.
Huh?
Anyway, thanks very much. If you wouldn't mind waiting around till the Chief Inspector gets here. Molly?
I'd like a dozen... No, 2 dozen of these roses, the long-stemmed ones. They are fresh.
Oh, yes, sir. Some poor sod got up at dawn to pick those. Look, real dew.
Not much scent.
Give them a chance, Gov. They've still got the sleep in their eyes, like me.
Good God. What would they cost?
They do say with roses, a dozen says it all.
No, 2 dozen. To be sent to Miss Gladys Probert at the concert hall.
Oh, the Welsh canary bird.
Yes, they're to be there in good time for a concert this evening. They'll be sent in by then, won't they?
They'll be singing their little hearts out, don't you worry. Give her a big trill.
Now, the message is to the greatest diva of her time, with grateful thanks from an admirer.
Diva? How do you spell that?
D-I-V-A. It's the Italian for goddess.
Very classy.
She's not classy. She's classic.
Butane! Hold on! Ost! Down behind the bus station, was it? That's where all the tarts go. Trollop.
They'll never make you a dame, Gladys. Not if you will talk dirty.
Where were you?
It's none of your business.
Oh, yes, it is. You'd be nothing and no one if it weren't for me, Mary Probert. A bit of nutty slack, that's what. Scrubbing some coal miners back in Trebannock and thanking your lucky stars you had the chance.
Madam, please.
Other hand, please, madam. There aren't any coal miners left in Trebannock. You want to look round next time you go home. Not a pit left in the Rhondda. Shame, really. Everyone out of work.
And you'll be next. God, all I ask is that you be at my concerts. Is that so much? My own sister.
It was a class, not a concert.
Concerts this evening. Look at the little slag. I sit all night like an alley cat. While I'm slaving to put clothes on her back, she's stripping them off rather than in trousers. Who was he then? Don't know his name. Don't even know his name. Is that it? Hold on! Oh. Ah! Yes!
Mrs. Bedon, madame.
Adele, a sweetheart. Oh,
my dear. You slept well? The pillows were hard enough?
It was all perfect. Especially the air. So good for the voice, this country air.
And you, Mari? You were quite comfortable, I hope?
Yes, thank you, Adele.
Don't care what the room's like, do you, love? So long as there's a bed to lie back on. Loves her bed, Mari does.
I'd a really nice lie-in.
I think it's time Madame was dressed, Mrs. Baydon. Lord Crew's benefaction is in 1 hour.
His name's Grimshaw, sir. Neville Grimshaw.
Oh, what makes you think that?
It's on his driving licence, all his credit cards.
How do you know they weren't stolen, Lewis? Or planted on the body by some fiendishly cunning murderer? Did the pathologist say when he died?
Several hours ago.
Several?
Before midnight, he thought.
The pathologist claimed to think. Still, we've got to be kind to these poor chaps, haven't we, Lewis? They've got all their grisly tests to do. Just the one shot, was it?
Yes, sir. There's a lady, sir.
Ah, cherchez la femme.
No, it's the lady who found him. She's going on holiday, wants to get off home.
Well, let her go, Lewis, let her go. Well, you've asked her all the relevant questions, I presume. You're not holding her on suspicion.
No, sir.
Then why should I add to the poor woman's stress and strain by asking the same questions? Send her on her way, wish her a happy holiday from me. I suppose it has to be murder. It couldn't be suicide.
No, sir. But no powder burns. Look.
Pity. Such a beautiful morning. Any sign of the gun?
No, sir.
All right. Better drag the river. Right, sir. It would be nice to be able to enjoy the ISIS now and then, wouldn't it? Instead of always having to fish bodies out of it.
You feeling job stressed, sir?
What?
I was reading in the paper the other day.
Allowing the pages of the Sun to pass before your eyes does not amount to reading this.
Police sergeant, it said. Very high-risk occupation. Long hours, stress and that.
What about the distress you cause chief inspectors?
Not enough time for families and friends. Recreation, hobbies.
Well, then you must make time, Lewis. Not for hobbies, but for art, for nature. Last night, I experienced... Oh, it's very hard to put into words, really. Oh, for God's sake, Lewis, is that all you can think of? You're supposed to be a married man.
What? You didn't go off beer just because the pubs were open all hours, did you?
Everything down to such a mundane level. You know, the world is full of such possibilities.
Where are we going?
Back to your mundane world. People called Grimshaw. Life without art or imagination.
B flat instead of B natural, which you always sing. And the other place she goes wrong is over here. I think it's because she breathes here. No.
Simon! I'm sorry. There isn't going to be room for you in the helicopter after all. Arabella Baydon's got to go back to her college and clear her room, so there's only one free seat. And Madame wants Pierre.
Pierre?
You're to join Madame at the concert hall at 5 o'clock. Tammy's leaving at 4:30. You can travel with her.
I am not traveling with Tammy. I am not a servant.
Those are Madame's instructions.
Where is Madame?
Why didn't you go last night?
I hate opera.
That's not what you said when you wanted those tickets for Pavarotti.
You don't have to believe everything I say.
I don't believe anything you say.
You believe the paychecks, don't you? No one really likes opera. People only go for the intervals.
Not Adele and Arabella.
Do you know how much Adele's passion for the voice of Gladys Probert cost me last year?
Nothing. You wrote it off to public relations.
What's this supposed to be?
Your doctor's rose.
Couldn't you get me something with a bit more pizzazz? Like what Gladys has?
It's music. You asked for law, if you remember, because you hold law in such high respect.
Don't you get sassy with me, you fat cow. There are plenty more where you came from.
This came while you were titivating.
Get me that knobhead.
Which particular knobhead, Mr. Baden?
The head knob. Williams.
Found him, sir.
The murderer? Already?
No. I mean, we found where Grimshaw was staying. And he is Grimshaw.
Shh. There. Damn. 7 seconds off the record. If you hadn't come barging in like that, the person from Porlock, that's who you are.
No, sir. Newcastle.
So, who is Grimshaw?
Some sort of journalist, looks like.
No loss, then.
Been staying in the Randolph the last 3 nights. Went out yesterday evening. Hasn't been seen since. Bags and everything still in the room.
Good. Well done. Now, just tell me who killed him. We can both go home.
Someone with a gun.
Anything interesting in his things?
I thought you'd want to go through them yourself, sir.
Oh, can't you do that? I'm not in the mood. I feel too... I'm still up from last night.
I'm sure I don't prefer you down.
Down? I'm never down, Lewis. I'm the cheeriest chief inspector in the division. Everyone knows that.
Oh.
Come on now. Off to the Randolph. At least they serve a decent pint.